All right, guys, welcome back. 1776 or bust. And today we're going to be doing another edition of Holster Month. And as you can see in front of you guys, I have this pretty cool company called Eclipse Holsters. And this is their webpage. You can see there's an abundance of options here. You've got your inside the waistband, outside the waistband. You've got belts, all different types of things, including, some of these trays that are now becoming extremely popular. I actually like those trays. I have one myself from Lock Grips, and it's just, I love them. I think they're so cool. You can put your everyday carry stuff in there, keys, change, anything really. And, when you look at a website that has an abundance of options, I always personally think that's a good thing from the simple standpoint that I like having options. And the reason why I say that is because I'm not necessarily into just getting a black Kydex holster. I want to have different options. So for me, when I was reaching out to this company, and again, I have no problem reaching out if people want to be a part of it, that's great. The owner of the company actually agreed to send me a particular holster that you're going to see here in a moment. And again, very grateful for that. Any opportunity I have to represent somebody else's work and show that to all of you, to me, that's what it's all about. So I'm going to go to the table here in a moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the holster and talk a little bit about the company. And then you guys can decide if this is something you'd be interested in. So let's go to the table. All right, guys. So here we are. And on the table, you see this outside the waistband holster from Eclipse Holsters. And this was actually the holster that I requested for them to do a review on. And I could have easily done any of the inside the waistband, but I honestly don't show enough of outside the waistband holsters. And the reason why I say that is because to me, if you carry a lot, which I do, one of the things that many of you are going to probably realize is just the fact that, when you're carrying a gun, the most important aspect of a gun, aside from its concealability, if that's what you want, but is also the comfort level. So an outside the waistband holster to me is probably the maximum amount of comfort you can get when you carry a handgun. So that's why I went with this. And this, as you can see, is their woodland camo. And initially I was looking at some of their patterns and we were talking back and forth in regards to what I was looking for. And then I saw the woodland camo and I said, this is the one. I think it kind of threw me back to the days of John Rambo and First Blood. And I said, that's definitely the camo pattern I want for this particular holster. The reasons why you see two Glocks on the table is because you're going to find out in a minute that this holster is already made for optics ready for your Glock 19 MOS like I have here, which was pretty awesome because this holster was actually meant for just the 19X. And so, just to kind of show you the holster really quick, that's the retention point. I mean, right there, you're not moving it much, and then you have to kind of glide it in. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the fit of this holster is probably the best fit of any outside the waistband holster that I have. I have several different models, and I have to say right now, this is probably the best fitting one. Now, that's not a knock against any of the other models that I own, but for whatever reason, the way this just hugs the gun and just having such a small, I mean, you can see how small this is, how slim the design is. I mean, it's just really good. I mean, it's really, really good. It curves nicely to the body. I found for my maximum comfort in regards to this, I'm carrying about 3 to 330 with just enough to be able to, get rid of this long grip. And it concealed very well. Now, keep in mind, keep this in mind also in regards to that concealability. It is wintertime by me. I live in New York, so obviously it's been cold out. So I was able to wear this at the mall with just a jacket and really just like a thin T-shirt, almost like a T-shirt, long sleeve, and a jacket. And I was carrying this all day long. And I have to tell you, I was extremely comfortable. The gun never, ever moved. The belt I was wearing off obviously helped with that as well. But ultimately, I had to say the comfort level of this holster was through the roof. And, you don't really see that necessarily with an inside the waistband holster. Now, don't get me wrong. 99% of the time, I always carry inside the waistband. But in the long winter months, in the fall, when you're wearing a jacket and some other, over clothes protection, that kind of stuff, I've got to say I am 100% on the bandwagon in regards to outside the waistband holster. And the reason being is just because it's all day comfort. And this holster makes it very easy to do so, especially a very large frame gun like the 19X. Now, in regards to the Gen 5 MOS, just so you can see this really quick, again, there's your take up into the holster right there. That's your tension or your friction point, and it clicks right in. And again, this gun is going nowhere. So as you can see, everything is perfect. You have your sweat shield that comes up just about to the top. And honestly, I think that's actually a good height, a little bit higher. If you're bending a little bit, you might notice that this is starting to pinch into you a little bit. But in this regard, it's just at the right height, at least for me in my preference. Also, what you're going to notice is that with the Gen 5 MOS, you can see that it does not interfere with anything on the actual red dot. So any of your buttons here, any of your, controls, I should say, you're not going to have to worry about the Kydex rubbing on that at all. On the other side of things here, you can see that it comes just high enough, still exposes a lot of the upper part of the slide and also of your optic. And as you can see, it will also clear higher or taller sights. These are my AmeriGlow suppressor height night sights, and you can see that it clears it with absolutely no problem. So, I mean, overall, the comfort level is through the roof. The fit and finish is excellent in regards just to the fit of this gun. You also have a single point of retention right here, which is, a basic screw. I'm sure there's probably a name for this kind of screw. I don't know what that is, but I'm just going to call it a basic screw at this point. And after receiving the holster, there were some things that I didn't notice until after the fact that I think are nice little touches from the owner, who I'm going to talk about here in a moment. But the reason why I like this is because there's a lot of careful attention to detail. What I mean by that is if you look at the holster, obviously you have that camo pattern. And if you notice the rivets here, all the rivets actually match that camo pattern, which is kind of cool. So for example, you see, you kind of got that, I don't know, I guess the FDE brown there. In the black, you have the black here in the black as well. This color right here, which is kind of it's not really a green, but it's not a black either. It's kind of almost, it looks green, but it's not. But it's definitely not black. It's almost like a greenish black. I don't really know. And then you can see here, they did the same thing with the pattern here with the brown and then the dark light. So, I mean, just like little things like that to me is important. And not because it makes the holster any better, not because it makes the fit of the gun any better, but because of the careful paying attention to detail. To me, that means quality. I mean, let's be honest. The people who are making these holsters, guys, these are craftsmen and craftswomen. And the reason why I say that is because when you're a craftsperson, the more detail you pay to what you're doing, it shows the kind of the self-respect you have for what you're doing, the actual care, the pride of the work that you're putting out. And to me, that is a huge deal. I know most people won't even blink an eye on it, but that is something I picked up, and I have to say, I think that's pretty sweet. On the back, you can see the black face of it on the back, so it's got that nice little two-tone look to it. Again, you have your little belt clips here. Again, it held the gun no problem, tight to the body, no issues with that whatsoever. Again, these are also attached by the screws, so you can tighten them up if you have to, and again, your retention point is right there. One of the other cool little things that I noticed here is that all of the lines in regards to the finish of the holster, there's nothing that's high polished. I actually like that. That's something I've been noticing on some other holsters where people are going away from that high polished look and now going into more of that matte finish, which I think is pretty cool too as well. It's all about the details, guys. So, I mean, overall, to me, this holster works really well. If you're looking for a quality outside the waistband holster that has some good patterns to it, or even inside the waistband holster or belts or anything, really you should check out Eclipse holsters. I'm very happy with this. I think it's a really good addition to my growing collection of guns with holsters. And again, the fit and finish has been great for both. I've had no problem with movement on this holster at all on my belt. And the guns conceal absolutely excellent, no issues, as long as obviously you're dressing around that. Now, if you're going to wear something like this with a tank top, you're probably not going to conceal it, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, if you're using what you need to in regards to clothing and outerwear, you're not going to have any problems at all carrying this gun, concealing it well, and knowing that it's going to be comfortable all day long. Now, on the final note, I do want to talk a little bit about the company and its owner. So just keep in mind, this is not a brand new company. They've been around since about 2012. I think they actually opened up their business in 2013, and it actually started out, I think, in Alaska, and then they moved to Virginia. So they're based out of Virginia. And the best part of this company, which I don't think is ever said enough, is that this is actually female owned and operated. And that's a huge thumbs up for me. And not because, women do holsters better, so to speak, but the fact that it just goes to show you the inclusiveness of this community. It shows the fact that, the gun owners of America are not crazy lunatics, that these are people who are mothers, fathers, sons, brothers, aunts, uncles, you name it. This lady here who runs this company, Jessica Hazelar, hopefully I'm saying that right, Jessica. She, again, full Second Amendment supporter, competitive shooter. I know that her and her family do CrossFit. So, I mean, that's awesome. So, obviously, there's not only just this love of the gun community from them, but also a love of life, fitness. And I think those are all amazing things to do and to be a part of. So for me, Eclipse holsters is one to go for. If you're looking for some good quality stuff, check out their website. Again, I'm not saying this because I'm getting paid. I'm not saying it because, I'm getting really anything out of this except for this holster here. I'm saying it because I believe in it. I'm saying because I wear it, and I say it because I'm going to keep it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Tell me what you think about this product. Go over to the website, pick something up, and I guarantee you're going to be very happy with the quality. Have a great night. Stay safe. And as always, freedom is never free.